Welcome back to the Next Level Show. We're excited for our Mindset Monday episode. This is kind of I think is one of our top favorite type of episodes to create because it allows us to venture out. The main topic being with fitness, but a little bit outside. I like always tying things in that we do on a daily with what we do in the gym, what we do with our clients. Quick reminders and intro for anyone that's new. Obviously, if you're new to the channel of the YouTube channel is brand spanking new. We're just really trying to push and gain some subscribers and get some more content out for you guys. We have over 200 episodes that were prior to YouTube, so it'd be a lot of content to kind of backtrack on. But if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the little bell notification so you don't miss any of the episodes moving forward. We drop about 3 episodes a week. Same goes for our audio only on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and all those. You can check it out wherever you're listening to. We appreciate you coming on and kind of hanging out with us, whether you're commuting to work, sitting on the toilet, taking a shower, whatever that is, like just cleaning the house. But podcast, I'm telling you, podcasting in general is what I love to do on my free time anyways. It gets me through my chores, the stuff that I got to do around the house that I make myself do. I'm just like, I don't feel like vacuuming and mopping the house today, but I'll just pop it in my ears, go with it. Before I know it, I've already cleaned the whole house up and down. So it helps, makes car rides a little bit more entertaining. So, hey, that's why we're bringing that volume of content, baby.
The only time I don't like listening to a podcast is if I'm training, because and this goes in 2 different kind of directions. One, if it's one where it's like entertainment, says something funny. Imagine hearing a funny joke when you have when you're overhead pressing or when you're squatting or deadlifting. Probably not a good time. Probably would not be a good time. And it's happened to me. So that's one. Also, if it's more educational purpose, then you would want to be zoned in and listening to what's being said, and maybe you're not being too focused as what's being done. So unless I'm, for whatever kind of reason, I'm on a treadmill, elliptical, or bike or something, if I'm doing something repetitive, then fine. But if I'm not, then I'd rather not. I'd rather do it on the way over there, or maybe while I'm priming, while I'm getting ready. But then when I switch it, then I just switch it to some music. Speaking of, I had like my music set to like random, and like a Linkin Park song like popped in, and then I was just like, oh, I haven't heard Linkin Park in like forever, like Hybrid Theory, the first one. Love that album.
Old school.
And then I just listened to it from beginning to end, and I forgot how awesome that album was. There's probably like maybe 1 or 2 songs that I don't like as much, but that's one of the few that I don't skip a song. Do you guys have any albums that you just don't skip a song?
Linkin Park albums for sure. One of my top. They bring me back to high school days, man. When I was on the way to soccer meets and soccer games, and they were about an hour commute. I would just we would put the CD in the CD player. This shows you kind of far back we go. And
brings me back to like when I was 30.
Yeah. So basically, like it would just be the way to amp yourself up. Typically, the old Jay-Z albums. Who else that we used to listen to a lot?
There's only one that I liked from him that I could listen to from beginning to end. But
50 Cent.
Oh yeah, that first one. The what's it called? Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yes. I was always like the crazy part is that I grew up in a very conservative home with parents that were very Christian. I would have to sneak these CDs and like have them what is it when they burn it, like burn CDs, right? Yeah. So my friends would do me the solid of getting me some music so I could listen to, because this is before LimeWire. This goes before the LimeWire days. I didn't use that. The first streaming downloading service I used to like take like downloaded pirate music is LimeWire basically.
Did you use Napster, Mike? Or you were around for that? You were not around. Oh,
I was around for it, but I never used it.
I was probably around. I just didn't know how to use it. But basically, like I would sneak around with my friends. We'd listen to Tupac, Biggie, and stuff like that. And I was in elementary school, middle school time. My parents didn't like want me listening to vulgar music. Basically, they would always just say that was from the devil. So I guess I can see why it made me turn out to a great individual.
So.
Go ahead, Mike.
Well, I was going to say my albums are actually the second Linkin Park album, Meteora. I love Hybrid Theory, but Meteora just kind of.
Well, my favorite one is from Meteora. It's Breaking the Habit. That's my favorite song from them.
Yeah, That's a great fucking song. The whole album, really. I mean, again, you don't have to skip any. And then actually, an album by Logic, Bobby Tarantino too. I put that on sometimes and listen to that whole thing. That's my favorite, probably my favorite Logic album.
He's good.
And I gotta tip my hat to Lil Wayne, Carter 2 from just pure nostalgia.
Oh my goodness.
Love that album.
Anytime I hear that, I think of like, that's when that came out is when we were living in Miami. So it just brings me back to that.
Oh yeah. But Lil Wayne had his era, man. And even like
even now.
Later, fast forward a couple years forward, it's Drake's albums. Drake, when he first started being featured on tracks, were pretty good as well. I mean, it was like this kid was up and coming. It was like, oh snap, who's this guy? And he just kind of added like a nice little contrast to Lil Wayne's.
I think his first song, "Best I Ever Had." I don't know why the hell I thought this for a second. I was like, is that Kanye?
I can see why.
That's another one. I think I like Kanye's. I want to say his second one. Was it College Dropout? I think it was College Dropout. Whatever his second album was, I think that's my favorite one from him.
So why do you think, like, do you think like most artists, when you like them, do you think that why do you feel like you start losing, like they start losing it? Do you think it's because they try to cater towards the masses, or is it because you feel like now that what used to hold sacred, it was like your thing, like a small group of people knew about it. Not everyone was like, not everyone. You felt it was like the not so common thing to do or listen to. I will give an example. Like obviously Gabe doesn't like The Weeknd, but The Weeknd's albums in the early
don't say that I don't like him. I mean, he's fine, but I'm not gonna. So here's the thing: I probably wouldn't purposely put him on, but if it comes on, I wouldn't change the channel. So how about that?
So yeah, so with him, I've listened to like his stuff before. Yeah, sure. So I used to listen to him like when he was on like Pandora. This is back like in early 2011, 2012, 2013, roughly around there. And his music was very different to what it is now. Definitely not mainstream type music. Most people wouldn't appreciate it as much. But I liked it. It was like you would only know a few people that knew who he was, and that was like the cool part, right? In the concerts, it was just like he was just a small. It was like in theaters and stuff. It wasn't even in arenas. And then fast forward a couple of years, the guy blew up. Now he's like one of the most well-known artists right now. Currently, I tried my absolute best. His latest album was not my favorite. I will say that it was not my favorite, but I try to appreciate the progression in someone. It's almost like if, depending on where we are in the next like 5 years or so, we're not going to be obviously the same. So some people that may have liked the first early episodes might be like, we've changed, or like, and of course that's the natural progression to things. And obviously we'd feel like we're better. Hopefully
we've sold out.
Yeah. We've sold out if future sponsorships or whatever the case may be. I mean, I think that it's a natural progression.
How would you compare his early stuff to the last album?
It's just a different type of genre of music. I mean, it's not, now it's more like pop. Like he's gone more of that. It almost like feels like that 80s pop music. And for
like
the most
wave,
kind of. And before it was more like a weird fusion of like R&B with house. I don't even know how to even categorize it. It was just a very unique.
It was. Vibe. I remember when he first came out.
Very dark style music.
I think it actually, I like it when an artist changes their style and progresses. And like you say, like you can kind of see the progression and where they started and where they went. There's a band that comes to mind. It's actually my favorite band, Bring Me the Horizon. When I first heard them, they were like a heavy metal, death metal type band, like heavy, heavy guitar, fast bass drum, screaming, swearing, British as fuck. And then they slowly started drifting away from that. And like their fans a lot of fans just stopped listening to them because they literally are making more like pop songs now. And it's really weird. But like, to me, I look at like the whole picture, like that shows me range as like a musical artist where you can make really good heavy metal music and then come over here and make like a beautiful love song or like whatever you want to call it. I love seeing stuff like that because that just shows me like these people are learning as they go and they're showing all the fucking chops that they have. I really love seeing stuff like that.
Well, no, I think even go ahead.
Well, what I was gonna say is that I think as an artist, because typically you're getting inspiration from multiple things. Even if you go into a genre of music and you create that type of music, it's natural. I think that even for us, we love fitness, but we like to talk about other things outside of fitness, and they might not be our quote unquote expertise. Who cares? I mean, it's just fun. It's something that we enjoy. We have a platform to do so. Same thing for these artists that know how to play other types of music or know about these things in more in depth. To venture out, it's also probably it's novel to them. It's new, it's exciting because sure, maybe they have a love for a particular type of style. But being able to say like, I want to do pop, I want to do more, like, go away from the heavy metal, maybe go more to like a music that more people can enjoy, and we like it too. So we like to talk about it too and present that to you guys. And it's like, bam, like I think that's a natural human being, basically.
What I was going to say is that it's sometimes you need to progress. Some athletes, some artists need to progress and change up their style, because some might just get caught up like, okay, well, this worked for me. Let me just keep on doing this. And sometimes it just hits and sometimes misses. Like even you can equate that to movies. Like, what was it? Oh, yeah. So the other day we were watching Zoolander, and then we saw Zoolander 2. Zoolander 2 is terrible. Anchorman 2, terrible. Because they tried the same exact recipe, right? So instead of maybe just adjusting or elevating it or doing something different, and then other times you have certain artists. So another album that I just love that I would just play from beginning to end is from Nas, Stillmatic. Love that album. However, some of his later ones, I would say, I'll skip this song, or I'll only listen to 2, 3, maybe even 5 tops songs from one album. And that's just because, I don't know, for some reason at that point, that album everything just clicked. Everything worked awesome. Doesn't mean that the rest of the stuff isn't good. Lil Wayne, another one. I love him. Love him as an artist. One of my favorite rappers. Now, some of the things he says, he just goes a bit too silly and a bit all over the place, kind of like how I am now sometimes.
Truffle butter.
Exactly, truffle butter. So it's crazy, dude. Yeah, what the hell? But then other, like his last album, what was it? The Carter, was it 5? Yeah, the Carter 5.
I think so.
That one was, that one was a really good album. I liked it a lot. So I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it just works, sometimes it doesn't. Think of equating it back to fitness. You can, I'm sure when we're either squatting, deadlifting, or pressing or whatever, and everything is just clicks and everything works right, and the weight just moves so smooth. Right? Does that mean that the next one is going to be just as smooth or just as great? Or if it's not, does it diminish it? Right? I mean, I don't know, just keep on going.
Well, the way I look at it too is from that perspective, when I'm trying to word this right, I'm kind of drawing a blank, but with the whole thing, keeping it the same and not evolving, it's almost like we talked about off air was niching down in a specific. Yes. We were just talking about that on air, like how we see, like, obviously for business and marketing purposes, niching down is important, to have a particular demographic. The problem that I've always had with hardcore niching to a specific age range or just a singular problem. Obviously, any coach, any business coach will tell you for sales, it matters because if you're trying to market to everyone, you help no one. That's kind of the general standing of why they tell you the importance of niching down to
it's like a group class.
To speak to a particular demographic of people to help. Now, I think that is important to understand. Like, I think this is also a message to myself, is that even if I decided to go into a particular route for a while, something I was passionate about doing, the minute that I want to do something else is being okay to break identity with that marketing and being able to shift gears. I think that the natural evolution of your coaching business, of whatever you do, is should be okay. You may lose those clients, or maybe those type of followers, or whoever maybe may tune in for that, but you should be okay with evolving. And that's the only issue that I've always had with niching. But I also have to understand that this also applies to us in the coaching world. How are we going to market and post our content? Even with this podcast, I think we've had a bit of a shift throughout the last couple hundred episodes. We don't talk exactly the same, or how the dynamic of the show isn't the same from episode 1 to 50. It just starts to evolve. And who knows what that's going to take. We start seeing opportunities, stuff that makes it fun for us to continue to pop on here, and other maybe topics or professionals that we may bring in that are completely like irrelevant to macros, exercise, tempo, programming, but to create a platform that we like to have fun with you, the listeners. Obviously, fitness is always our core base because that's what brings us all together. But I think it's like important to not, it's okay to identify, but don't let that define who you are as a person.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like Mike's artist or Mike's group, the Breaking Horizons, how they started with heavy metal, but then they went over to pop.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. And I think here it'd be something totally different if they go from playing heavy metal to then saying, hey, now we're going to be skateboarders. You know, it's just like, wait a second, that just it doesn't equate. Or even if they, especially if they've never picked up a board at all. And if you want to try that, then fine. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that as long as it is within the scope of where you started, then you should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just really quick what jumped into my head for that and how you were describing it.
Yes, absolutely. And for the listeners that are watching on YouTube, the people on audio
Viewers.
can't see this, and yeah, the viewers. Well, obviously, we're in Florida time, rainy season.
Oh,
Rain's
yes.
hectic, so we lose. I'm actually surprised that I still have power because it's like raining cats and dogs outside. So if this, we'll make any edits that we need to. But anyways,
Mike dropped out. We lost
Mike
the mic.
had to drop. We lost the mic. We lost the mic square. So basically, did you want to cover anything else on this particular realm here?
No, but no. Go ahead if you wanted to switch up.
Well, I kind of wanted to shift. What are the things that we were talking about before we get into the mindset piece?
That sounded like a mindset piece.
This
the
was
whole evolving.
Correct, evolving. So I think that this does a nice little segue for us to go into what we were talking about, what we wanted to talk about when it comes to how using fitness, like how the importance of the fitness journey, how it can evolve you as a human being. They say like normally like people that work out and fall in love with it, not just someone that does it for a short burst, but someone that actually falls in love with this process, going and challenging yourself and becoming better. Typically you'll start to lead you to other avenues in your life that you will continue to try to grow and evolve. And this can be maybe coming from me, the skinny guy wanted to pick up build muscle so I could pick up chicks. Like eventually, like I had broken up with my girlfriend at the time, super like bummed out. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna become better. Not win her back, but go and like I'm gonna prove to myself that like, you know, I can do this. Like I can pick up chicks and blah, blah, blah. So like, I used fitness at the beginning more for strictly vanity purposes. I just wanted to fill in a t-shirt, get a bigger size t-shirt, and just build confidence, if you will. Use fitness to build confidence, look a certain way, and then maybe I would find, X result. Now, as a result, certain things that happened, of course, yeah, like you started getting maybe noticed from the opposite sex, compliments, women started paying attention that maybe weren't. But also what it did overall, it did build confidence in that realm, but it also started showing me the value of how this applies to my life goals. Maybe it opened doors and avenues that I never thought it would because of how passionate I was outside of just the superficial stuff. And I don't discredit this because like I don't think it's a bad thing that you use fitness, to feel better about yourself and you want to maybe date and you want to maybe meet someone, because it's very important to be in relatively good shape and be healthy. I think that is a big thing because obviously attraction with the opposite sex usually starts with the first appearance, first impression of what they see. So if you see someone that's and the crazy part is it's not about the person that's super shredded and ripped. It's about the guy that looks healthy. He looks like he somewhat takes care of himself, but he'll still enjoy a piece of pizza and have a beer with you at time, on date night. It's like, it was crazy that the extreme is not what was the important part. The important part is that it looked like you had some discipline in your life, that you valued yourself, that you took care of yourself, but you still weren't like fully obsessed about it either. But that after a couple of years of that, my personal experience was that I was able to look past that and I started applying those principles in my work ethic, in my work environments. And it just allowed me to feel much better about myself and understand who I was as an individual and find kind of some purpose or clarity on, because typically at my age when I started, I was around 2021. I didn't know who I was. So using that just to build myself as an individual, it allowed me to work on my spiritual growth, maybe just not only my physical, but my mental as well, because I started kind of letting go of a lot of just insecurities and maybe some quote unquote childhood traumas or stuff that was said to me when I was little. I was like, fuck, and it kind of molds you to maybe get that drive. But then you look at other things and you're just kind of able to evolve from that. Before rambling on too much and like just talking until the show's over, Gabe, I don't know if you had any experience with that with your personal journey. I know that you kind of had the same kind of problem that I had, being skinny guy, getting to the gym, chasing size and all that.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me. I got into it for those same exact reasons, because I just not so much, I didn't really like my physical appearance. Wasn't too sure or confident in myself as a whole when I started. And I tried to get into fitness a couple different times prior to that, and it just didn't work out. And then finally, once I got into it, once I stuck with it, I saw not only just the physical growth of me just getting bigger and just seeing the changes there aesthetically, but just me as a person. Like I found to be more confident in myself, being able to know exactly who I was, because before I was always trying to, fit a certain type of mold. Oh, let me just hang with these guys that are this type of way, so I got to act that type of way, or let me just go over here and just be like this. So I was able to just be myself, and when I was myself, that's when all of these kind of great things started happening, of just relationships with other people. Just people now would start randomly just coming up to me, as opposed to me thinking, okay, well, can I say hi, or maybe I can say hi, and not saying anything to them because of the lack of self-confidence. And the reason as to why I guess fitness helps in all these other kind of areas is because, hey, Mike.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Is because when you go into the gym and you start doing a whole bunch of curls, what happens? Your biceps get bigger, right? So you equate work equals that type of results. I wanted this change.
That's for sure, Mike. I'll tell you that.
Oh, that's Mike right there, Mr. Popeye over there. He go in there and you do some curls, do the work, and the result is the change that you wanted, which was bigger biceps, right? So you can put that same type of thought process, same type of work ethic, same type of anything into all other aspects of your life. Because how hard is it to see, personal growth? I mean, you can try to be a better person, but you can't really, you can't tangibly see that or hold it or anything, right? But here within fitness, you can. So it's that's how I would equate the two, and how it helped me grow as a person. With fitness in beginning, and then since I loved it, I stuck with it. Now it's not so much of an aesthetic pursue or purpose or goal. It's more of a feeling. I mean, is it sometimes? Yeah, of course it is. I still have that, those insecurities that run through my head of saying, like I have scrawny ass legs and stuff, and I need to, work on them. That's why I try to do as much lower body training as I can now. But it's just more so for my well-being and how it makes me feel, how it makes me just everything, my mentals, my physicals, spirituals, it's all there.
Mike?
So I'm
I know your
missing,
internet's a little bit shaky, but
yeah, I'm missing a little bit of a chunk there. So I apologize if I repeat anything that's already been said. We have storms going on right now. I don't know if you guys probably heard that or not, but as far as myself, I mean, I went through I would call it a massive change. I mean, 180 degrees. Fundamentally, I'm the same core person, but I've changed so drastically that it's hard to even look back on a certain point in my life and be like, that was me. But more specifically with fitness, it became so much of a change that positively affected me throughout every component of my life, where I just wanted to not be fat and sad anymore. That was basically what got me started with Jonathan. Maybe that was why I was so quiet that first day that we met, but a couple months after that, I was already feeling better. And then a year and a half after that, I felt like a brand new human being, like all parts replaced. Everything was freshly greased and I was moving better than I had ever moved before. My brain was working and I was confident and happy. And I think probably the biggest difference that I saw from that was, and this is maybe getting a little bit personal, but I think that's the best kind of stuff. I think for my year goal, I said that I wanted a girlfriend. And I kind of chuckled at that as a thought. But then once we had blown past working together for a year, I didn't even really care about that anymore. I was like, I'm perfectly content by myself, where as just 365 days before, I was looking for fulfillment to come from the outside world when I had found that along the way without even really trying to. It just kind of happened. So that's, I mean, looking good and getting stronger and learning all these exercises, that was really cool. Becoming a personal trainer, that was really cool. But just getting that own, I am fulfilling myself and happy with myself, that led me to so many other great things. I would put that as like probably the highest prize for me on my fitness journey. And especially just all the doors that opened up. I mean, I wouldn't have a Jen or an Oliver if I hadn't done those things and found happiness within myself all that time ago. So I think that would be my spiel on it.
No, absolutely. And I think that was beautifully said, man, because like what you just proved is that sure, it may start like I said before you hop back on. My goal, I had just broken up with my girlfriend that I really cared about, and I was like super bummed out. And I just said, I'm going to work on myself to like either, do better, get girls, whatever the case may be. That was my main driver at first. And sure, like, did you get some of that? Why did I get some of that during the process? Sure. But at one point, after working on yourself so much and finding fulfillment and happiness and purpose within yourself and being clear on who you are and what's important to you, that doesn't matter as much. That's a plus. You look at it versus, look at it as a plus in your life versus as a need, as a necessity. What happens is that, I tell guys and girls, I tell them the same thing. I think it's very important to figure out who you are and what's important and what's who you are as an individual in this world, because that's going to allow you to find people that align with your values, your core values. You'll be better at making selections on probably one of the most important things in your life is finding a partner, finding that other person. If you do it with the right mindset and you took the time to like work on yourself and maybe not get that instant gratification just from just anyone because you just needed someone there, you're gonna allow yourself to open up to better opportunities and or people that will walk into your life at the right time or be in the right place. Say hi to that one person that you never know where that's going to lead to. But it'll only start if you are ready for it. I always say like, people attract to where they're at. If you're someone that is building yourself up, you are as a guy, I'll talk from just a man's perspective, but is like if you focus on yourself, you focus on maybe taking care of maybe some financial stuff that you may have a mess, which I was a mess. I got to a point now where it's like I can actually, I'm meeting great women. I don't have like bad stories with like crazy cycles that are keying my car and shit. I don't really have drama in my life. I'm able to select, and sure, it hasn't worked out in the sense that I'm not committed to one person. But in the sense that I only meet just overall great people because I continue still, I'm grateful for where I'm at, but I'm not fully ever satisfied. I'm always trying to seek that next level in my life. Hit it.
I was ready.
Oh yeah, I was just like gonna test you there, but it's always chasing that next step in your life and seeing, but it doesn't come from outside motivators always. It comes in from what you want. You just want to chase and be better and become more. And when the time comes, man, I tell anyone, if you do that, you're just gonna make better choices. The problem is that I see a lot of people staying in that one step. I'm not saying that it's a bad initiator to get you going. Whatever gets you going in the gym, even if it's bad, I'm cool with it. I tell people, let's use that. Let's use that fuel and fire, because I know if you stick with this long enough, you'll eventually fall in love with it for the right reasons. And because if you stick with it longer than a year, typically you're in it for the right reasons. After the people that do it for 3 months, that hate themselves, they do a bunch of crazy shit that doesn't work and they fall out. Gabe, go ahead.
Think of can't you equate that to an individual that says, that they're a homebody, they're on the couch potato, and they start by just going for a walk, right? And that walk turns into maybe a longer walk, turns into maybe stepping inside of the gym, or someone that starts by doing some home workouts, some DVD workouts, sure, that might not be the best, but that's a starter, and it kind of gets them to transition into going into a gym or picking up some weights or hiring a coach to show them exactly what they need to do. So whatever it is, I mean, I don't care what the hell it is. If you're doing some HIIT workouts, some Orange Theories, some F45 or whatever, as long as that kind of gets you towards, or that isn't the final goal. That isn't the final step. There is still more steps to go on this ladder or on this building or in this staircase, whatever the hell you want to call it. There's more there, and you can kind of just keep on going.
Absolutely. Definitely. So like, just to kind of wrap up my point is just, it starts from somewhere, doesn't matter what it is, good, bad. If you do it, if you end up sticking through this, you're going to find out for yourself. You need to do it yourself to figure this out. If only by listening to us, you're never going to fully believe it. Most people learn by just walking the talk, right? So it's like, you got to go through the process, go through the struggles, go through the mistakes. Eventually, if you do this long enough, you'll fall in love with it for you. And as a result, you'll start to kind of, your life will start to open up doors that you never thought were there, when you first started out. And I know Mike can attest for this personally. I've saw it, a whole new person from the minute we met to, dude, you were out there. I won't put your business out there, but I think you did go maybe meet a couple people prior. But you, bro, you didn't think, you were kind of, I know you were on the fence, like, is it time? And I'm like, dude, just do it. Like, you had me just like pushing you like over the edge, like, just go, man. Cause I know like you were at a good place mentally, physically, everything, bro. Like, you were a completely different, confident man. So I mean, like, hell yeah, I'm super happy that it kind of worked out in that favor.
You know that Shia LaBeouf gif? That's what I thought of right there.
I was just about to cite, if you're having like hesitations about this, just look up Shia LaBeouf's "Just Do It" on YouTube. It's a meme. It is a living, breathing meme at this point, but that'll probably get you thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
So,
one.
But yeah, just using fitness as a tool, build your confidence, build yourself up. That is one of the main things I always advise friends, family. The best thing you can do is take care of your physical in the form of, exercise and training and nutrition. Taking care of yourself is it's just crazy how that works. And you start seeking out other things spiritually, mentally, besides the physical to get better. You see people that have a high level of success, and I'm talking about like well-balanced individuals. You see that they kind of have these boxes checked out, man. They're relatively healthy. They're not like, they're not overweight individuals. They're not maybe the most shredded people, but, they prioritize. Even Gary Vee, as crazy as this man works, I mean, he understands the importance of exercising. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't wake up motivated as hell to train, because we know one of his personal coaches that worked with him. It was kind of hard to train him at times. He wasn't like the most motivated individual, but the guy still did it because he knows the value. So, but it feeds into the other areas of your life. So definitely, I always will preach on the whole building your confidence through exercise and being fit.
I can't help but think of the picture I've seen of like an A-frame sign standing up outside of like a gym where it says, "Are you fat and ugly? Just be ugly." And then it has like a $30 a month or whatever for the gym.
Yeah. For $30 a month, you can only just be ugly.
Yeah. However it's phrased, but
it's crazy as like maybe as messed up as may sound, but it's true. I mean, like
it's eye catching.
Well, the thing is that I'll even leave this. I'll even give a little bit of tough love to the listeners. If you have an able body, a body that moves, you have all your limbs, and you can physically take some steps right now. You have zero excuse as to why you're not taking care of yourself. That's the only thing we have control. We're born a certain way, a certain height, a certain race. We can't control who our parents were or are, where we're born at. Like that, the only thing we can control is how we take care of ourselves, our own body that we get to navigate this world in for X amount of years. So definitely don't take it for granted. If you're listening to this, you probably don't, but share this with someone that may need to hear this. That's a little bit of tough love from my end. Is like, you have no excuse. You know, you have obviously this platform is created. We have obviously in the iTunes and Spotify and Google Play, we have hundreds of episodes already that we talk about a variety of different topics that are completely free. Some we go in much more depth than others. If you don't have the money and the resources to hire someone, we do our best to see if we can give you as much free information as possible that you can take and run with it and use it. It's completely there for you just to go and take it to that next level.
Was not ready for that. No.
Fuck. But that's kind of my closing point, boys. I don't know if you have any closing thoughts on this particular subject. This was a good episode, I feel.
Great one. Mike.
Yeah, I heard 100% of it, and it was A+.
12 out of 10.
I think I have a riddle that'll stump Gabe. I think. I brought 2.
Oh, shit.
One I would consider to be intermediate. He's probably just going to say it immediately. Number 2, though, I think I'm gonna get him.
Well, you know what? I think this is what needs to do in order for maybe I need to go first, and then you go.
Yeah.
Because all the other times have been the other way around. So why don't I just start?
Yeah.
Do you know what do you call an old ant? It's an antique.
There you go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Here is the easier of the 2.
All right.
It's a riddle, just for listeners and viewers. I guess we have viewers now. All right. Lose me once, and I'll come back stronger. Lose me twice, and I leave forever. What am I? I'll give it to you one more time. Lose me once, I'm gone forever. Lose me twice, and I leave forever. Wait,
What?
I've said that wrong.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm mildly dyslexic sometimes. Lose me once, and I'll come back stronger. Lose me twice, and I'll leave forever. What am I?
Lose me once.
I don't know.
I was not expecting this. Okay, it's a tooth.
Yeah. See, and you know, right before you said, I said, I bet you that the easy one, quote unquote, is going to be the one to get us or get me.
Yeah, apparently so. Maybe I should just save the other one for next time.
Is that the teaser for the next one, or are you going to just go ahead?
I'm just going to go with it. Okay. If you throw me out of a window, you'll leave a grieving wife, but leave me in the middle of a door, and you might just save a life. What am I? So if you throw me out the window, you'll leave a grieving wife, but leave me in the middle of a door, and you might just save a life. What am I? This one's very obscure. It's the letter N. So if you throw me out the window, you'll leave a grieving wife. If you get rid of the letter N, window becomes widow. And if you leave me in the middle of a door, that makes it donor, which would save a life.
No shit.
Maybe I went too far.
Perhaps.
Gabe looks in pain right now. Like he looks like he's physically hurt from that. Wow,
right.
Mike, you just did a number on him.
Get
You hit him twice. You got him with 2 riddles back to back.
Yeah,
it's almost like a left a jab cross, just right at Gabe.
Combination that I was not ready for.
hit you with the old cooter 1-2.
All right, listeners, with that being said, if you guys and viewers, if you guys like this information, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on. Go ahead and leave us a nice comment or review on either platform. I think YouTube is just comments. Our other platforms, leave us a 5-star rating and review. That also helps us track on those platforms as well. If any questions, feel free to send us direct messages on Instagram. We have our Next Level Instagram page at the Next Level Show. My personal page is at John Alva Fitness. Gabe is at Prime and Glory. I almost fucked that up again.
You did. I saw it. I heard it. It was coming.
And Mike, he's at Mike Nillis PT.